Hey guys, how's it going? Master Cal here, and today I'm going to be doing the 30th video for my 2021 NFL offseason preview series, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills had a great season last year as they won the AFC East for the first time in 25 years, and they reached the AFC Championship game, but they were unable to stand up against the Kansas City Chiefs in the end. Quarterback Josh Allen had a monster breakout season as he was in the MVP conversation along with Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and he made the Pro Bowl and put to rest any doubts about him being a franchise quarterback for the Bills. And so they will definitely look to lock him up with an extension this summer, and you have to wonder if he's excited about the contract Dak Prescott got because that's going to give him a bunch of leverage in negotiations with the Bills. But we'll see if it's the money or if he wants to win a Super Bowl and is willing to take less. So there are other starters by cap space. You've got Devin Singletary at running back, third rounder in 2019 from FAU, who's been pretty solid. The Bills' offense last year, however, was very pass-centric, and so Singletary didn't really run the ball as much. He actually got a lot of his touches in the passing game, and actually designed runs by Allen was often the Bills' running game. At left tackle is Dion Dawkins, a second-round pick in 2017, who has been a starter since day one, and he has yet to miss a game. He was signed to an extension last offseason. At left guard is Cody Ford, second-rounder in 2019 from Oklahoma. Ford started at right tackle for the Bills last year, and then kind of in the offensive line shakeup, he wound up seeing a lot of time at left guard as opposed to right tackle this past year. Ford, however, was banged up and only played in 7 games because of injuries. At center is Mitch Morse, former Chief, who came over to the Bills as a free agent in 2019, and Morse has been pretty solid for them. There was some speculation that Morse might be a cap casualty, but he willingly took a pay cut just recently. Bills don't currently have another guard under contract, and the only other tackle they have under contract besides Dawkins is Ryan Bates, former Philadelphia Eagle, former undrafted free agent who was claimed off of waivers from Philly. Wide receiver is Stephon Diggs, former Minnesota Viking. He was traded from the Vikings to the Bills last offseason. It was a hefty package that Buffalo gave up, but it was worth it as Diggs had by far the best season of his career and was arguably a top 3 receiver in the entire NFL, and he actually led the NFL in receiving yards, showing instant chemistry with Allen. The other outside receiver is John Brown, former Raven, former Cardinal, and he was set to enter the 3rd year of his contract with the Bills. Unfortunately, Buffalo released him a few days ago in a move that cleared cap space, and that was due to the emergence of Gabriel Davis, who they took in the 4th round of the 2020 draft, and he had a pretty good rookie year. In the slot is Cole Beasley, former Dallas Cowboy, who also came over to the Bills in 2019. And Beasley's been a very dependable slot receiver. He's a good route runner, knows how to find soft spots in the defense and fight for extra yards to get first downs. At tight end, the largest cap hit belongs to Lee Smith, a mostly blocking tight end who's played for the Patriots and the Raiders as well. He's been with the Bills the past 2 years. Didn't see a whole lot of game action, though. He was a healthy scratch at times. Their actual starting tight end is Dawson Knox, 3rd rounder in 2019 from Ole Miss. On their defense, you've got Mario Addison, longtime Carolina Panther who came over to the Bills last offseason as a free agent and had a pretty solid year with them. Addison also took a pay cut to stay in Buffalo just a few days ago. Then you got Vernon Butler, yet another former Panther. That's a recurring theme as Sean McDermott has brought a lot of former Panthers over to Buffalo. Butler has been more of a disappointment as a first-round pick. And he actually had a decent-ish season with the Bills, and he also wound up taking a pay cut. And then you got Star Lotulelei, who the Panthers took in the 1st round in 2013. He's been with the Bills since 2018. However, he did not play last year because he elected to opt out. Off the other edge is Jerry Hughes, who's the longest tenured Bill, if I remember correctly, a former first-round pick of the Colts who was traded to the Bills, I think, in 2013, and he's been kind of the dependable guy off the edge for a long time now. At linebacker, you got A.J. Klein, former Panther, former Saint, came over on a 3-year deal with the Bills last year. He was brought over as mostly the cover guy, 3rd linebacker, and he wound up seeing a pretty nice amount of time because of injuries in their other linebacking core. You got Tremaine Edmonds, first rounder in 2018 from Virginia Tech, and Edmonds has been pretty good. And like he's still only 23 years old, so he is he still has upside and more room to grow. He has had a couple of downish games, but overall he's been a very good selection for Buffalo. And then you got Tyler Matakevich, former Pittsburgh Steeler, who's basically almost exclusively a special teamer. He has played some offense, but again, he's a key special teamer. Cornerback Tre'Davious White, first rounder in 2017 from LSU, who's been one of the better corners in the league since he was selected by Buffalo, and the Bills locked him up on a long-term extension before the season started. And then you got Saron Neal and Teron Johnson. Johnson is their nickelback and Neal is their dimeback, but they don't really have any other corners under contract. Johnson had a pretty good season last year playing in the slot, and then Neal again dimeback, so he only sees in certain sub packages and on special teams. Both of them are entering contract years. At safety, you got Jordan Poyer, former Philadelphia Eagle, who's been with the Bills since 2017. He signed an extension at the league New Year last offseason, and then Micah Hyde, former Packer, who also came over to the Bills in 2017. Both Poyer and Hyde have been pretty solid guys, and Hyde got extended just about a week or so ago by Buffalo, so he's under contract for the next 3 seasons. On special teams, Reed Ferguson is the long snapper. They don't currently have a punter under contract, and then Tyler Bass is the kicker. Their free agents, you got edge rusher Trent Murphy, cornerback Josh Norman, offensive lineman Ty Nsekhe, tight end Tyler Croft, starting right guard John Feliciano, right guard Brian Winters, former New York Jet. He was released by the Jets and then picked up by the Bills. He started early in the season when Feliciano was recovering from an offseason injury. Starting right tackle Daryl Williams, who had a breakout season with the Bills. Williams has since re-signed with the Bills on a 3-year deal. Backup quarterback Matt Barkley, running back Tywan Jones, running back TJ Yeldon, wide receiver return specialist Andre Roberts, third safety Dean Marlowe, speedster wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie, guard Jordan Devey, he's been re-signed to a 1-year deal, cornerback Levi Wallace is a restricted free agent, linebacker Andre Smith is a restricted free agent. The Bills have re-signed him. I forget if it was a 1 or a 2-year deal. Linebacker Matt Milano, the Bills were able to lock him up on a 4-year deal. There was a lot of speculation that Milano was going to test the market, especially since the Bills like not to franchise tag him, but ultimately the Bills were able to retain him at an $11 million per year contract, which I think is pretty reasonable. Left guard Ike Boetger, who took over after Ford was injured. He is a restricted free agent, and then punter Corey Bojorquez is a restricted free agent. The needs for the Bills, I'm going to say probably, one offensive lineman. They've indicated that they want to upgrade at tight end. The linebacker need is checked off now that Milano is back, and they're going to need a number 2 corner, which most likely they can bring back Wallace, assuming they don't lose him to an offer sheet. They don't really have a whole lot of needs. Because they have a deep defensive line. They got 2 good running backs. They have a pretty strong wide receiving tandem. I mean, again, they're a pretty solid team. The cap casualties, again, and then some of these cap casualties, again, Morse, Addison, and Butler, those guys have all taken small pay cuts. They cut Brown. I could see them cutting Lee Smith and save about $2.25 million against the cap. I don't believe they'll cut Klein. I don't think they'll cut Jerry Hughes. I could see them cutting Tyler Matakevich and save like $3.35 million against the cap, especially since they brought back Andre Smith to kind of be that special teamer there. And then that's basically about it. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next off-season preview video.